So yeah, this is Christian here, and this is my report on Milestone 1. So far, there were three major objectives of this pathfinding thing. Touch up the voxelization algorithm, which I did a bit, then create the pathfinding algorithm, and then make it so that the drone placeholder there can use the pathfinding algorithm to get around. So far, seems pretty successful. The drone control system is I was hoping for a little more sophisticated way of controlling the drones. Like there'd be a drone manager that runs the pathfinding and just feeds the drone the points to follow. But didn't give myself enough time to get that done, so that's something for next milestone. I do have the I've already started on making that happen though, so that should happen within like what 1-2 weeks. I should get that done. Otherwise, I'd say that I've done everything I wanted to do for this milestone. Even if the path following stuff is not as fancy or as polished as I was like. Well, mostly just fancy. So, in explanation of what's going on here, over on the right, here's just a camera attached to the drone placeholder. It's a box. All these blue cubes right here are visualization of all the places the drone can't go. Using voxels of size 1, because, well, that's how big the drone is. That's I would make them practice. I'd make them a bit bigger than the drone, just to say that size whatever is the smallest space I want this thing fitting into. So all these blue cubes, that's are all the obstacles. I can go ahead and turn these off, and you see the objects right there. You'll see them beginning for just a bit. Back on and off. And here is the detailed chart of all the voxels here. So, bit of explanation on all this. It's just like a if you know like a data structure, that's a tree, basically this. So there's some 4 top level nodes, and then there's a child node which contains some other things, which get down to almost the level of just the visual spaces. It just all turns to bits to save on memory. And in 3D space, things get very big, very fast. So yeah. The colored boxes here that are happening around the path it's following, that's a representation of the pathfinding algorithm at work. The what happens is just A-star pathfinding, explore the nodes, pick the best choice it can find. That will hopefully get closer to its goal. The more red a node is, excluding the starting node here, I just colored it red so it wouldn't just show up as black. The more red a node is, the more the pathfinding is likely to expand that node as it's looking for a way to get to the goal. This is the same thing that happens on nav meshes, it's just not with voxels like this. Speaking of nav meshes, this works almost the same way, not as quite complete functionality, but you just say, hey, I want to go over here, and the thing will be like, hey, I'm going to go over here now. So yeah. You can see that the voxels are different sizes. If there's a big empty space, it's represented by, hey, just a simple null in the code saying, hey, there's nothing here. So far, the test drone is working by just following each little waypoint on the path. It's using a proper follow script where it's just like, I'm going to move towards each point on the path as I pass them. It's not trying to snap to the path or anything. Time. So, yeah, for milestone 2, I'm going to be making that sophisticated drone control system I mentioned. And then milestone 3, and I should have it all done by milestone 3, and then Milestone 3 would be making the whole thing a bit more user-friendly. Getting this working on a real city map would be in Milestone 2, but I didn't show it here, otherwise the about 4 minutes of the entire video would just be voxelizing a city unless I did it beforehand. Also, this shows off the going around this arbitrary objects in this test spaces. Shows off the pathfinding algorithm a bit better than just flying around the city. So yeah, well, that's Milestone 1.